Hey everybody, got another video here for you. So, looks like it's time to start work on the X-13 prototype with the interchangeable pickup system. The purest barrel tuner is in the paint shop drying, which leaves me with nothing to do and therefore no excuse to not start this build. This is the X-13. It used to be the X-12. And before that it used to be the X4. So yeah, this neck has had a lot of lives and a lot of bodies. This time around, what's it getting? Let's see. I'm not sure if it's a 40 mil heel. I don't think it is actually. It might get some reshaping. It's going to get all the plywood's going away. So it's getting a new body. It's going to get the new type of leg bar that just got the new type of leg bar working on the purest barrel tuner, and it's going to get one of those. And gets the full electronics down here for the 2 pickup and piezo system, and it gets the interchangeable pickup system, and that's it. So, checking out the neck here, it's kind of a combination of the old and the new. It still has the full width on the heel, so that's a 50 mil wide heel, roughly. But it is a flat heel, and it actually has the 40 mil, not the 50 mil spacing on the neck screw holes. So, about the only thing it doesn't have, oh, and the overall length of like the body and such, the heel area here is about 80 instead of 90. So, about the only thing it doesn't have is the 40 width here. And I don't know if it's really even worth taking, 5 mil off of each of these shoulders just to make things a little narrower. Because then I got to get into refinishing and matching and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking just go with a 50 by 80 triangular heel with 40 spacing on these, and these are going to get upgraded to machine screw inserts. And I'll go ahead and leave it with the 50 mil wide heel. Later ones, if I make more of these, I'd use the standard 40 mil heel. But this thing with its 80 long heel and its 40 spacing, I might be going that going forward, because the 50 spacing, I'm hitting truss rods too often now, and wasn't an issue for the first couple of years, but I don't know, making necks a little different these days, I guess. So going to 40 spacing, that means you can move the heel up another 10 before you start getting too close to the screw, and that means you can go, another fret up the neck before you even come into the area where you're going to start hitting the heel with your hands. So that's always a good thing. If you just eliminate the heel entirely. But that's for another day. Actually, I've got a few plans for ways to do that. But yeah, on this thing, I think I'm just gonna do the inserts and not worry about narrowing it. And I'll do an 80 by 50 heel, triangular heel, on the new body. So, while the computer was moving files off of the phone, I got out the jigsaw right quick, and I finished out this cut right here that I had started on the table saw, and that got rid of this bit of material in here. And so, let's see what's left. I need to mark out the neck screw holes, which will tell me where to put my bevel for my heel. And then it doesn't really look like it needs much in the way of shaping, really, so it probably can just go straight to sanding. Well, I didn't really have anything appropriate already mixed up, so I had to mix up some stain. Then I had to try to color match. I never did really hit the color I was shooting for, but I figured I'd better quit while I was ahead, sort of an idea. And this was the last test, so it's going to be something like this. It might be a little light, I might have to go 2 coats, but it should be a pretty close match for both the neck and the strap, so. So, everything's been out of the paint shop for about a week now, actually. And I finished up the Purist barrel tuner build. And on that one, this swing bar, the big thumb screw part of it didn't really work. The rest of it works, but you got to use 2 thumb screws, 2 like machine thumb screws. On this one, I can't use this body because when you're using it with the new swing bar, this bar for the EQ gets in the way of the classical position, and also it's not wide enough for the interchangeable pickup system. For the interchangeable pickup system, you're basically going to have a heel, and then it's going to come right out to a rectangular body that'll be actually even a little wider than this, and it'll be about that wide probably, and then it'll be the whole length here minus this notch, and that way you can slap a P90 across it right below the neck and have room for like a clip and thumb screws and stuff like that. And the electronics are all going to have to move over here to the left side of the bridge. And originally I was playing, like on ones that I've done in the past, there would be a panel here and the EQ over here, but that's going to have to be flipped around because you can't have the EQ right here because it'd be in the way when you're strumming, when you end up like hitting your sliders for the EQ. So I need to figure out exactly how wide I want to make these mounting plates for these pickups. I was thinking maybe go with thumb screws on both sides instead of a clip on one side and a thumb screw on the other. I want to use whatever will make it as narrow as possible, but I really got to put the anchor points or the attachment system on the sides and not on the end, because if it's on the sides, then you can put the pickup in either position, but if it's on the ends, then you'd be like putting it in this way and then having to turn around that way, and you have issues with are the wires long enough and things like that. So and then the other thing I got to worry about is the height, because I want to keep the 20 mil neck in order to keep the heel small, but some of the pickups are actually going to be probably taller than 20 millimeters, so I'm going to have to route channels, 1 or possibly 2 channels in the body, and it's a matter of figuring out exactly how deep. my first rough estimates, I was thinking no route at the front and maybe 2 mil route at the back or something like that, but I'll have to wait and see. I still have to get precise measurements for exactly what's going to be the tallest pickup installation. Well, there's the new body blank all marked out. Like I said, it's basically just a rectangle with a notch at the back for the bridge and a triangular heel on this end. And as you can see, it's approximately the same size as the old one. If we get them to line up there, roughly like that, yeah, it's pretty much the same size. Obviously, it doesn't have the bar down here, and as you can see, it's going to be this wide. That's cut off here, but yeah, it's going to be quite wide, and it has to be that wide in order to fit a P90 and then have room for little hold down screws, so, and room for you to get your fingers in to get at the screws. So yeah, that's it basically. And then over here, for the controls, I'm going to put the control panel underneath the bridge and raise the bridge up a little bit that way. And then that means the bridge will be a little higher and I won't have to route everything quite so deep in the body. Turns out it's looking like, without raising the bridge, I would have to route like 5.5 mil channel in the deck and a 5 mil channel at the bridge for the pickup system. And the tallest pickup is the EMG, clocking in at like 24 millimeters with the connector. And then you add another 2 millimeters for the mounting plate, which means you're looking at like 26 millimeters tall for all the pickups. So getting back to this thing, I'm just going to zap that off with the mini table saw, and then well, the small table saw, and then I'll do the rest of this cutout work with the jigsaw. So got the neck all cleaned up, and it's looking all nice and pretty again, both sides. And now it's time to take on my lovely burgundy here and say goodbye, because it's time to cover it up. And this is what I'm going to be covering it with. This is the self-adhesive Teflon film tape. It just happens to be copper colored, and I'm going to lay a strip of it down the back of this thing. There are a few irregularities in the shape, which means it probably won't go perfect down here. I'll just kind of do the best I can. And yeah, but I've already tested how slick this is versus how slick clean lacquer is, and this is slicker than lacquer, and lacquer is slicker than poly. Well, looks like it's not actually copper colored, it's amber tinted. So yeah, translucent yellow. And so there you go. A little quality time with the razor blade. And it's all trimmed up. Yeah, there you can see the edge of the film. And did all the sides. Brought it all the way up so it even covers the side of the fingerboard to make that even slicker as well. At least the best I could. There were a couple imperfections where I got a wrinkle or two in it, but it's not bad. Shaping it right here at the end. The tape stretches to some extent, but not super stretchy, so a couple wrinkles, the odd wrinkle there in the curve, but other than that, not bad, especially given how rough this neck was to begin with. I really thought it would turn out bad here, and it didn't. I was able to get it stretched pretty tight all the way across these imperfections, so pretty cool. And it's definitely slick and nice and shiny, so. And the nice thing is it didn't really change the color of the guitar too much, kind of like using amber lacquer. So, yeah, not bad, not bad. I'll have to find a, let's see, this is a factory neck here. And compare it to a factory neck right quick. It's dirty, but oh yeah, definitely slicker. Except I got my hands all dirty on the other one first. Yeah, it's slicker than that. Let me find a lacquer neck. Oh, here's a nice lacquer neck. This is the 12-string tail tuner. And oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Way slicker. Way slicker. Now, what's it like compared to gloss finish on a carbon fiber tube? Oh yeah, way slicker. I was thinking that for these, what I'd do would be I'd lay the tape down in 2 strips on either side of the back of the rich light, and then lay the tape around like 3/4 of the rod so there's still some tube exposed for gluing. And that would leave me a strip of rich light that wasn't taped and a strip of tube that wasn't taped that I could use as the 2 gluing surfaces for when I do the carbon fiber tube neck. And yeah, the way this stuff is turning out, I was trying to figure out how I would use the Teflon tape on the carbon fiber tube build since it had such an irregular shape. And I'd figured out that was the way to do it, was you'd laminate it in two pieces and then glue it together. So yeah, this is definitely looking interesting. I should have run the tape down the sides of the heel as well, but the end started getting crinkled up and stuck to itself, so maybe I could probably lay another piece of tape on there, because the stuff's so thin that I don't think you'd be able to feel the edge really between the two. Well, you might feel it if you tried to feel it, but that would be it. On the other hand, this is going to be like right at the very end, so maybe you don't need to slide so much once you get up there. I should probably tape it to be thorough. There we go. All trimmed up, all coated. Definitely cool. Definitely cool. Yeah, I think I'd have to give this experiment a success rating. Yeah, definitely cool. Definitely cool. Slick. Shiny. Doesn't look bad. Definitely cool. Definitely cool. Yeah, and all the sides, the shoulders of the heel are all now coated too, so everything's all nice and slippery. Very slippery, actually. Should have thought of this a long time ago. I mean, slick, Teflon, duh, it's a real no-brainer if you think about it. Okay, so the neck's been coated with Teflon tape. Wow, that thing feels great. I'll just poke holes in the film when it comes time to put the screws in. I was there, you can't really, I put the brake for the two pieces of film right here where the angle of the neck changes, so you can't really feel that, but there is a slight edge. You can't really feel the edge here at the fingerboard. It's trimmed just below where the roll on the edge for the fingerboard begins. I'd show you up close. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this video. So until the next one, everybody, have a good one.